Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this press point, a joint press point by President of the European Parliament, Martin Schulz, European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker. Without further ado, I think we can start with the President.
Ich habe mit großer Freude den Präsidenten des Europäischen Parlaments heute Morgen hier am Sitz der Kommission empfangen. Wir haben verabredet, weil die Beziehungen zwischen Parlament und Kommission
because relations between the Commission and Parliament are different to what they were in the past. So we like to meet on the eve of a European Council and align positions if at all possible. And that's something we did this morning, and we noted that the relations between Parliament and Commission are excellent and couldn't be better. That hasn't always been the case, but it is the case now, and we hope it'll stay like that in the future. Now, my friend Martin Schulz, the President of the European Parliament, has come here today, and I explained to him in detail what we've been doing. The most important topic from our point of view today is that the Member States have got to do what they promised to do on the 23rd of September. That's something which we're still awaiting. These pledges, commitments by the Member States in terms of staffing, in Greece and elsewhere, and generally. There is a significant amount of money not yet forthcoming. The member states are delaying the provision of the 2.25 billion, which is still not available. That was a decision taken on the 23rd of September, and now it's a question, well, it's a question of credibility, the credibility of the European Council and the member states as well, that they live up to their promises and meet their promises. The Commission has submitted all of the necessary budgetary proposals, and the decision of the European Council is, or to implement rather, the decision of the European Council. The European Parliament has also done what needed to be done. So Parliament and Commission have delivered, the Member States have promised. So now it's up to those Member States to deliver as well. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Martin.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. On cooperation between the two community institutions, I have nothing to add over and above what the President of the Commission has said. They're characterised by the desire for closer cooperation, closer than has been the case hitherto. Let me confirm this here once again. And that's because we have a joint project that is regaining the community method as the rule, which applies to the way in which the EU functions. And this means that the two community institutions, even though obviously they have to carry out different tasks, obviously it's still the case that our task as legislator also involves scrutinising the highest executive body in the EU. We take that task very seriously, but in the times that we're facing at the moment, it's important that the community institutions cooperate together efficiently. Let me underscore that. Everything that was set in train on the 23rd of September that were decided between the Commission and the Parliament. The supplementary and amending budget was signed yesterday and has been put into force in a short period of time. We have provided the necessary resources from EU budgets. Yesterday at the Parliament, Jean-Claude Juncker rightly pointed out that the projected financial resources that were set out by the European Council have been provided only in a very minor way by member states. Only a fraction of this has been provided, and I hope that today that the European Council will make further progress on that. We've said that in our talks again this morning. We will say once again this evening to the European Council that the division of labour between heads of governments and they declare after councils that they've taken certain decisions, but then do not implement them later on, and then people say, well, Europe isn't working. That's not acceptable, and that applies to some governments of some member states. Now today We'll be discussing further work, and by the way, this involves common intensive cooperation with Turkey. We've discussed that again this morning. Last week we had a meeting with President Erdogan. To my mind, and I think Jean-Claude Juncker agrees with him on this, I think it was a successful occasion. The Vice President of the Commission, as far as I'm aware, is in Ankara. We hope that with such in train, as part of the action plan, can be brought to a fruitful conclusion. And I think there are grounds for hope and confidence. We'll also be discussing the UK referendum. Both of us have made it quite clear that both the Commission and the European Parliament at all stages is willing to engage in constructive cooperation. I hope that as far as the UK government is concerned, and certainly with individuals, including David Cameron, that we can make steps forward with them. Above all, we need clarity on what we're going to be discussing over the next few months.